Hello, and welcome to the Round Lake Area Library's program series, Feed Your Mind and Body. Today, we're going to talk about pumpkins. Fall, such a wonderful time of year, with Halloween, Thanksgiving, sweaters and boots, leaves changing colors, soups galore, and one of my favorite things about this season is pumpkins. Well, those too, but today I mean these pumpkins. You're not going to want to believe me about this, but pumpkins are a winter squash, and they're fruit, and they're berries. While we're on the subject, gourds are another type of squash, but they're generally not edible. They're used for other things like decor, tools, and musical instruments. Okay, science lesson is over. Let's talk food. This time of year, you hear a lot about pumpkin spice everything. And the truth is, pumpkins have very little flavor themselves. They're moist and fleshy and full of vitamins and minerals, but they do not taste like pumpkin spice latte or pumpkin pie. The flavor there is derived from the spices. Like biting into an apple doesn't taste like apple pie spice, pumpkin also has very little flavor to share. But don't feel sorry for them because they're very versatile and good for you. Pumpkin flesh is easy to harvest. Hack it in half or quarters, pull out the stringy insides and sieves, save those seeds, and roast the pieces of pumpkin in a 350-degree oven for 30 to 45 minutes depending on the size of the pieces and the thickness of the pumpkin. When the pieces are all fork tender, remove them and let them cool a little bit. The skins will peel off easily and you can squish the meat of the pumpkin with a potato masher, a ricer, a food mill, a blender, or a food processor. Pumpkin puree has so many uses and you can immediately put it into a recipe or freeze it in jars or freezer bags for later use. Now for those seeds. Do not miss out on this opportunity because pumpkin seeds are full of healthy chemicals and you can make the most amazing snacks because they're just as versatile as pumpkin puree. You'll want to soak your seeds and get all of the pumpkin off, dry them on a paper towel or a towel, lay them out on a parchment-lined cookie sheet and either give them a healthy spray with cooking oil or drizzle some olive oil on them. And then flavor them as you wish. And really, the sky's the limit here. I love using finely ground popcorn salt on these seeds, and sometimes I'll add pepper as well, though an excellent argument can be made for using chunky coarse salt just for a little bit of crunch. Other favorites are Cajun seasoning or garlic powder. Hard, finely grated cheese like Parmesan is also great, and you can add some herbs like oregano and garlic to make pizza flavor. Give them a taco flavor with cumin, onion powder, and a hint of cayenne, or just use taco spice blends from the store. For that matter, use powdered salad dressings like ranch or Italian. Barbecue, adobo, buffalo, curry, tahini, Greek, Sitar, or everything bagel. You can go in a completely different direction and use different fats like butter or coconut oil instead of the olive oil, and pair that with honey or maple syrup and some cinnamon sugar. Or sprinkle them with pumpkin pie spice or apple pie spice blends. You could do salted caramel, cocoa with almonds, espresso, butter pecan, or maple bacon. If you would put it on popcorn, you can put it on pumpkin seeds. And you can tweak these suggestions for specific diets. Avoid butter and honey for vegan options, skip the salt and just use spice blends, or skip the sugar and do low carb. Get creative, make them yummy. And once you have roasted pumpkin seeds, you can pop them in your mouth as a snack, throw them in a salad in place of croutons, or in a soup. You can put them on or in different types of breads, in a trail mix, or in a mix of roasted veggies. Okay, now that you've made pumpkin puree and seeds, what can you do with the puree? Pumpkin soup, a creamy pasta sauce, pumpkin bread or muffins, pumpkin ice cream, pumpkin chili, pumpkin hummus, pumpkin fries, pumpkin brownies, pumpkin cupcakes, or one of my all-time favorite things to make in the fall is chocolate chip pumpkin cookies. Now Sam is going to show us how to make pumpkin queso fundito.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you a recipe from Food Network magazine for pumpkin queso fundito. Queso fundito is a Mexican dip made with chorizo, cheeses, jalapeno, and a few other things. So this take on it, we will make the dip in a small pot on the stove, and then we will bake it inside of our hollowed out pumpkin. For the recipe, you will need 1 2 to 3 pound pumpkin, although I used one that was slightly over 3 pounds, and my dip was still almost overflowing, so you might want one closer to 3 pounds. You'll also need 8 ounces chorizo, 1 jalapeno pepper, 1 4-ounce can of chopped green chilies, half a teaspoon ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon cayenne pepper, 3 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups chicken broth, 2 cups shredded mozzarella cheese, 1 cup shredded Monterey Jack, and then some chopped cilantro for the top when you go to serve it, and of course tortilla chips. We will start by hollowing out the pumpkin. You can use an unfolded paper bag for easy cleanup. You want to cut or slice off the top 1 to 1.5 inches of the pumpkin and discard that. Scoop out the seeds and the stringy pulp. I cut around the inside to try to loosen the pulp, and then you can try to scoop it out with your hands, flip your pumpkin upside down, whatever works for you. I had a pumpkin scooper from a pumpkin carving kit, and that worked wonderfully. You could also use a spoon or something similar. What you want to do is scrape along the inside walls from the bottom of the pumpkin working to the top. You want to remove all the seeds and pulp. You can save the seeds for other recipes, or you can toss everything into your compost. Set aside your hollowed out pumpkin, and now it's time to start working on the dip. I started by slicing and chopping my jalapeno. The seeds are the hottest part, and the recipe says you can leave them in or take them out. I chose to take them out. You can easily remove them by scraping along the inside wall of the pepper with your knife. Then I sliced, chopped, and diced my pepper so I would have smaller bites for my dip. The recipe calls for using dried chorizo, but I only had fresh. I cooked it in a skillet first and then used a paper towel to remove some of the grease. I then put my chorizo in a medium pot over medium heat and quickly added my 4 ounces of chopped green chilies. Then put in the jalapeno, 1/2 teaspoon ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon cayenne, stir, and cook until the jalapeno soften about 2 minutes, and then add in your 3 tablespoons all-purpose flour. The mixture will immediately thicken up to almost a paste-like consistency. Stir and cook for about 2 minutes more, and then you will add in your 1.5 cups chicken broth. You will bring the mix to a boil and then reduce the heat. Add in 2 cups shredded mozzarella and 1 cup shredded Monterey Jack. Briefly cook, stirring until the cheese melts and the mixture is creamy. Once it's incorporated, you will remove the pot from the fire. Time to put the mixture into the pumpkin. Place your pumpkin in a small baking dish. I used a ceramic square one, but you can use whatever you have on hand, and then you will fill the pumpkin with the cheese mixture. You will then add 1 inch of boiling water to the baking dish. You can have some water boiling in a separate pot while you're making your dip, but if you don't have room on your stovetop or you forgot until the last minute like I did, you can quote-unquote boil some water in the microwave in about 2 minutes. After you add your water to the baking dish, cover loosely with tin foil and then bake in your 375-degree oven until the pumpkin is tender, about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Then you will remove the foil and continue baking for another 15 to 25 minutes to achieve that lovely golden cooked cheese color on top. Let it cool for up to 10 minutes and enjoy. Top with fresh cilantro and dig right in. I did find that the first few dips were lacking in pumpkin, so although it looked really pretty in the pumpkin, I soon moved the dip to a separate plastic container. That way I was able to scoop out the inside of the pumpkin using a spoon, scrape down the inside walls, and the pumpkin should come loose in large spoonfuls. I then combined those with the dip. It was tasty. I actually thought the recipe could have used more heat or spice. Maybe I'll leave in the jalapeno seeds next time. Maybe I'll add in more cayenne pepper. I don't know. You may also find that it needs more salt. That's totally a personal preference. Overall, I'd say the recipe wasn't as complicated as I thought it would be. It was pretty messy, so having that paper bag or even a plastic bag to scoop the pumpkin out on will make it much easier to clean up. Overall, I thought it was really tasty and it looked impressive, so I will definitely be making it again.
Sam, that looks amazing. I definitely need to try making that one. And because my oven decided to stop working on the day of filming, I wasn't able to demo anything, so we will jump right back to Sam for her pumpkin pasta Alfredo.
Hello everyone! For this pumpkin recipe, I'm going to show you how to make tortellini with pumpkin Alfredo sauce. This recipe comes from Food Network. It was originally in their magazine, but you can also find it on their website. So this is a modified version of the recipe. I added more pumpkin and I also added Italian sausage. It just adds a little more flavor and you get that protein as well. For the ingredients, you will need 18 ounces of cheese tortellini, butter for cooking, 1 small shallot, which we will chop, 3/4 a cup canned pumpkin, a pinch of nutmeg, pepper and salt to taste, 1 1/4 cup heavy cream, 1/4 cup grated Parmesan, about half a pound Italian sausage, and I did a mix of mild and spicy, and then chopped fresh parsley for topping your dish. Now before you do anything else, you want to start boiling your water for your pasta, so that way you can work on your sauce at the same time. So you will start your sauce by chopping your shallot. Peel off the outer layers and then chop up your shallot. You will also then chop up your sausage. I used a mix of mild and spicy, just because I like that flavor mix, about half a pound total. And then we will put our shallot into a skillet over medium-high heat with about a tablespoon of butter so we can start cooking that. You want to cook it for at least 2 minutes till the shallot is soft. I ended up cooking it longer, especially because I then added the sausage in with it. So the shallot ended up pretty brown, but I think it's good that way. If you don't like it that way, you can cook your sausage first and then add your shallot. You can also chop your sausage on the same cutting board as your shallot, but you want to do it after the shallot. You do not want to do raw meat on a cutting board and then other ingredients, so always do the raw meat last. After you cook that until the sausage is done, you will add in your pumpkin and your nutmeg. Stir that for about a minute more, and then add in your 1 1/4 cups heavy cream. Bring to a low boil, and then you will reduce the heat to medium-low until it's simmering, and continue stirring until it's slightly thickened, about 5 minutes. Then you will add in your 1/4 cup cheese, although I definitely added more than that, probably closer to half a cup. And you will cook until the sauce thickens up even more, about another minute. Hopefully while your sauce has been cooking, your water has come to a boil and you were able to cook your pasta according to the directions on the box. Of course, I was cooking my sauce right next to my water, so it wasn't boiling while I was watching. So it wasn't actually boiling until after I was done with the sauce, so I had to remove the sauce from the heat and then cook my pasta according to directions. Drain that and then return it to your pot. Save some of the pasta water if you feel you need to add it to your sauce, and then add your sauce in with your pasta and stir together, and then immediately serve. You can top with fresh chopped parsley, although I usually just rip leaves off after I've washed them, of course, and more Parmesan cheese, and enjoy.
Oh man, that looks delicious. One of the benefits of making these videos is getting to eat our demonstrations afterwards. That's all for our pumpkin program. We hope you found some yummy ideas and we'll give some new pumpkin recipes a try. Thanks for joining us and happy fall.